AAA says it will be the busiest Thanksgiving for travel in 7 years. 46 million Americans are expected to be on the move this holiday week, weather permitting. More than 3.5 million will fly. But even with a dramatic drop in gas and oil prices, airfares are up about 1%. They now average $372 a ticket. Richard Anderson is the CEO of Delta Airlines. We're pleased to have him back here in Studio 57. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlie. Don't ask me.
So about holiday travel.
Yes. Yeah, please.
I'm picturing you now, Richard Anderson.
Right.
Oh, go ahead. You can have the first question.
No.
Why are prices going up?
Pardon?
Why are prices going up?
Well, I think we should be careful about how we think about fuel prices long term. You know, we've had different points in time over the last 5 years where we see fuel go down $20. Next year, Brent into plane, we're still looking at $100 a barrel when you talk about refining costs, taxes, movement of the crude, and movement of jet fuel into airports.
But if the prices go down, does it translate to better prices for us?
Ultimately, an economist will tell you that, you know, lower input costs will equal lower consumer costs. And I think if you take a look at real airfares in the last 15 years, real airfares are still down 2,000 compared to 2014 if you look at the DOT data. So it's still a tremendous bargain.
But Richard, we always hear when our ticket prices are up, people say it's because of fuel costs are up. So then why isn't it also true that when fuel costs go down, ticket prices go down?
Well, I think you will see over the course of 2015, Delta is going to introduce a value fare. In other words, we're going to segment the cabin of the airplane and have a basic economy fare that is a no-frills fare that will reflect a lower price for the price-conscious consumer.
And you hope that means you'll have full planes, too, don't you?
Well,
full capacity planes.
When you think about it, the industry really has only been profitable the last 3 or 4 years, and the last time it was this profitable, fuel prices were about 50 to 60 cents a gallon. Wow. And next year, all-in fuel prices will be, Delta's budgeting about $2.80. And one figure that's important, a 1 penny increase in a gallon of jet fuel for Delta is $40 million a year.
Yeah.
So as we plan our business, we have to be very careful about being certain we get all the price.
For future reference, what is your assumption about gas prices, oil prices for 2015? In your budget planning?
Budget planning, we're going to budget around $2.80 a gallon.
So it'll remain low.
No, you know, okay.
If you take the forward curve today, which you could buy the full year for, and put all the costs of putting it into an airplane, it's going to be, we estimate, about $2.80. But remember, all of this is a bit of a thumb in the wind.
Yeah. But 2 days out from Thanksgiving, people are looking at you saying, I'm trying to get to Grandma's house. There's a storm coming. What is Delta going to do to make sure that I get there? On time, safely? Right.
Well, the one thing we have done at Delta is we have run an incredibly reliable airline in terms of completion factor and on-time performance. The most important thing to tell people, I think, on the East Coast is there could be some difficult weather here in the Northeast Wednesday evening, rain turning to ice. There's weather waivers out there. Delta has a weather waiver out, but our goal is to get everybody to Grandma's on time for turkey.
Have mergers been good for the consumer?
I believe they have been good for the consumer, and let me tell you why. You still have an incredibly competitive marketplace, and more than any other consumer product, airfares are perfectly transparent to consumers. So you can go to any number of websites that are available 24/7 and get perfect transparency into pricing. And those websites are run by independent organizations that do a good job for consumers. And we have a very contestable market. So we have 3 big global carriers, 3 big national carriers, and then a number of deep discount carriers.
Can I ask you about Delta's position on immigration? Because I understand that after the president gave his speech on Thursday night, Delta issued a statement that said Delta Airlines applauds the steps to enact much-needed reforms to the nation's immigration system. Why speak out about this? It's controversial.
Well, if you've seen some of the emails I've gotten, you would sort of wonder, why did I speak out about it?
But why did you?
Because this problem needs to be solved. And I can't speak about the legality of what the president says, but if you think about, we're a nation of immigrants,
Did it mean something personal to you?
Well, you don't make those kinds of statements on a personal basis, but yes, my grandmother and grandfather were immigrants. And we are a country that was built by immigrants over decades. And to have 6 or 7 million people living and working in our society and not have a solution to that problem seems to me one that ought to be solved.
Well, why from a business perspective is important?
Well, look, we're an airline. We carry, next year we hope to carry 175 million people. We have thousands of employees in countries all around the world, and immigration reform and having freedom to move across the border and to attract high quality talent. Because our company needs to reflect the diversity and values and differences of all the people that we carry around the world.
All right.
Thank you, Rich. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Always good to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Safe
Thanksgiving
travels.
to you. Fly Delta.
Fly Delta.
All right.